So we're going to begin this morning, though, with the race for the White House. Vice President Kamala Harris heads to New Hampshire today, where she's expected to unveil new economic policies aimed at helping small businesses. It's her first trip to the Granite State since 2021. Tomorrow, she returns to Pittsburgh for a campaign rally. The Harris campaign's renewed focus on economic policy may be gaining traction. A new poll from USA Today and Suffolk University finds low-income voters, those making less than $20,000 annually, actually prefer Harris to Trump, which reverses the lead Trump held over Biden in previous polls. Former President Donald Trump will also make an economic pitch to voters this week as he prepares to address the Economic Club of New York tomorrow. Let's bring in CBS News campaign reporter Nidia Cavazos, who is following the Harris campaign for us today. Good to see you again. So what do we know about this small business proposal that Vice President Harris is going to be announcing today?
Good morning, Anne-Marie. Vice President Harris is expected to arrive in New Hampshire later today, and she's going to be releasing more economic proposals, a plan for when and if she gets to the White House after November. And part of this economic policy, it's all efforts to help out small business owners. And this includes increasing or expanding the tax deductions for small business owners' expenses up from $5,000 to $50,000. And also in expanding the number of applications that the administration can receive. Currently, it's at 19 million, and she plans to expand this up to 25 million business applications from small businesses specifically. And all of this, of course, is to help streamline the process for small business owners so that they can get started. And essentially, this helps contribute and strengthen the economy.
Then what's next for Harris on the campaign trail ahead of the debate, which is just next week?
After New Hampshire on Thursday, Vice President Harris will be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, hitting another battleground state. And this is where she's going to be preparing for the debate in Pittsburgh. And she's also going to be making several stops through this critical state of Pennsylvania. So she's going to be preparing for the debate and also remaining on the campaign trail.
And then, speaking of preparing for the debate, I mean, she's a former prosecutor. She probably knows how to debate pretty well. But do we know what the preparations are?
When it comes to the debate preparations, her team has really been tight-lipped here. There have been very, very few details that have been released. And of course, yesterday we were able to confirm that Pittsburgh is the location for the debate preparation. But beyond that, little details have been shared.
Okay. So the Harris campaign also announced that it's going to be transferring nearly $25 million to help down-ballot Democratic candidates. This is a campaign that is flush with money, but everyone knows it doesn't matter who's in the White House. You need a Congress that's willing to cooperate if you want to get anything done. President Biden knows that quite well. How are things going to work? Why is this so important?
Well, the money is coming in from the Harris campaign and also the Democratic National Committee, and they're essentially sending money to Democratic candidates. And all of this is sending a clear and loud message that they intend and have every desire to win down ballot races. So to be able to have control over the House and the Senate come November if Harris wins. And all of this is going to help her better govern if the House and Senate are also under control by Democrats.
All right, Nidia, thank you very much. CBS News campaign reporter Taurean is now following the Trump campaign for us and is going to catch us up to speed. The former president is going to be joining Fox News host Sean Hannity for a town hall tonight in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. This is something that's pre-taped, though, right? What kind of messages can we expect to hear from Trump?
Well, Anne-Marie, we can expect Donald Trump to talk about the economy. That's his bread and butter. And as he's been making on the trail this case to voters, what has the economy under Joe Biden looked like for you financially compared to his administration? We know, as polling shows, a lot of voters believe that they feel that they've been doing better under Trump economically. So that's the case that he's going to bring to this town hall tonight. We also know that he's likely to talk about IVF. We heard him say just a week ago this announcement that he's planning on mandating that either private insurance companies or the government cover the costs of IVF treatment. But how he will come to terms with the backlash from evangelical Christians, especially as he moves to the center on some of these reproductive right issues.
And so just to clarify, this is a pre-taped thing. Like this is not going to be airing live, right? Just because, you know, the campaign had criticized Kamala Harris for the interview that she did on CNN because it was pre-taped and sort of edited down to a half hour. So same stuff, pre-taped.
Pre-taped with the friendlier host, as they would say.
Good reminder.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, both campaigns are spending a lot of time in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. No surprise, this is a really important swing state with a lot of delegates.
Oh, yeah. And it's one of those states that was a part of the winning coalition for Donald Trump in 2016. But as we know, it flipped for Joe Biden in 2020, which is why we're seeing so much emphasis on that state. Just a few tens of thousands of votes there ultimately decided the race back then, which is why we see Kamala Harris focusing her efforts there, which is also why we see J.D. Vance, who I cover pretty extensively, go to Philadelphia, a blue area, looking to siphon some of those votes away from her.
Yeah, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, that's usually where Democrats focus a lot of their energy, large population. If you can get those two cities to stay blue, you can influence the rest of the state. So Harris is talking economics. Trump's VP, or running mate, rather, is also talking economics on Fox News, criticizing Kamala Harris for her policies. I want to play some of that sound.
This is the lie at the heart of Kamala Harris's campaign, that if you elect her, she's somehow going to be different than she already has been in office, where her policies have caused higher grocery prices, higher food prices, and, of course, a wide open southern border. So we have to say that if Kamala Harris thinks these policies are going to do a lot of good, and, of course, most of them are nonsensical, but if she thinks they're going to do a lot of good, she should try them out now because she's currently in power.
She's currently in power. She is vice president, but she's not the president. But I see what the Trump campaign's trying to do there.
And that's the through line here. The economic policy proposals that she's coming up with, they're saying she's had 4 years to do this, and she does have the president's ear. But the reality is she is the vice president, and Kamala Harris has talked about this before. She's here to support Biden's agenda, not necessarily influence her own.
Meantime, Donald Trump is set to deliver an economic address of his own tomorrow in New York. Has he given us any hints?
No hints yet, but it's likely that he'll again make the statement or the case that he's been making on the campaign trail. Look at what your pocketbook looked like under Donald Trump and compare that to Joe Biden. That's the message that he's looking to moving forward.
It's sort of, you know, the thing about both of these campaigns is we have yet to hear any sort of specifics about the plan. We have sort of general concepts, and everyone wants to strengthen the middle class. But how you plan on doing that, hopefully in the coming days, we'll hear. If not, we're definitely going to hear it probably on the debate stage. So before the debate, though, do we have a sense of what the Trump campaign has been doing, where they plan to be going?
Yeah, so J.D. Vance will head west. He has some campaign events in Arizona. He's going to be at the Turning Point USA Action event tonight. Then he's going to head to Phoenix, Arizona, where he has a campaign rally set up there. Donald Trump, however, will be headed to Wisconsin later on in the week. J.D. Vance will pick up a lot of the fundraising for the Trump-Vance ticket, doing that on the West Coast as well.
And I'm sure squeezing in some debate preps along the way. Taurean, thank you. So we're going to have full coverage of the first debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump on Tuesday, September 10th. It's hosted by ABC News, and you can watch the debate right here on CBS News 24/7. Pre-show coverage begins on America Decides at 5 p.m. Eastern.